Hi everyone, I'm Nancy Thompson with Create with Nancy, and today is Wednesday, January 25th, and it's time for some creative ink. And hopefully I got a good feel here. Okay, so again, I'm Nancy Thompson with Create with Nancy, and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator here in Central New York, and I love sharing creative ideas with you and helping you feel more creative. So if you're joining in, come on in and say hello, let me know you're here. And we are using some Sale-a-bration designer paper today. With a really cool card sketch, okay? I shared this with my team a couple weeks ago and they loved it. And I'm using different designer paper than what I use for them. And I might even give you a little sneak peek of finally a February birthday card club that will start in February, and I will be having details about the card club in my next newsletter. So make sure you're a subscriber so you can get all the details about it. So I see we've got some joining us. So hi Colleen and Bev and Ellen. Welcome, welcome. So glad you're here today. We are getting snow here in Central New York. Hopefully not too much, but enough to, I don't know, make it snowy. My daughter is dying to go snowmobiling. So let me I'm just making sure that I'm live here in Facebook. Okay, there we go. Okay, so yes, the favored, I forgot to get my designer paper packets. Let me see if I can grab that really quick. I think I've got one made up for this designer paper, my designer sheet. Yep, there we go. And let me just set this back over here. Okay, so favored flowers. It's this gorgeous, gorgeous paper here. There's kind of like a mixture. There's Blackberry Bliss and Calypso Coral and Evening Evergreen, Fresh Freesia, and Petal Pink. So just some really rich colors. And so I asked you guys for the reminder set for today whether we go with the Fresh Freesia design or the Calypso Coral Petal Pink. So we're going to go with the Fresh Freesia. I think everybody's in love with the purpley color today. So it has like really cool design. Let me go back to this side. Has some really good, on the flip side, some really cool designs, as well as on the front side images, flowery images on the front. So it's really nice. I like the geometric type designs. They're just different than we've had. Yes, Gail, I totally hope everybody is warm and safe inside. So, okay, so let's get started. I gotta think here. We're gonna do a little bit of die cutting because the beauty of this designer paper is, let me grab this in front here. So let's move over here and we'll go here. So the beauty of this paper, there's got all these flowery images that you can, a lot have to be fussy cut, but then there's several, well, there's a couple designs where, not on this one, on this one right here, where it will die cut because there's a stamp set and die, and I forgot to grab the stamp set that coordinates with this. Can I find it quickly? Maybe this is it. This is it. So there is a stamp set and die set that goes with this designer paper. Remember, this is a Sale-a-bration choice. This is a $50 Sale-a-bration level. So definitely the die will fit on this one. And also this larger die right here will die cut this as well. Okay. And then, of course, you've got, a label that will cut out your words here and down here. And then there's smaller ones for these, love and friend as well. And let me just make sure, see if I can zoom in just a little bit more for you guys So you've got a little better advantage and can see it all. And then what's really nice is they also have these outline things, and this kind of makes a pattern that mimics some of the paper as well here. Okay, it's got like an embossed, it doesn't die cut. This will give you an embossed look, okay? And then we've got these little sprigs, so when you're doing flowers, you can add them in the leaves as well. Okay, so those are the coordinating dies, but I want to show you how easy it is to cut this designer paper. And I got to figure out what I do. Oh, there we go. So we're going to die cut this because I want to show you how to die cut. All right, and we're going to pull in. We've got a guest in the house today, okay? And you'll never guess who it is. I don't know if I've shown this yet, but Stampin' Up! Is part of our Join special. We have this fabulous little mini emboss machine. This is a sneak peek of one of our new in colors that's going to come out in the 23 to 24 annual catalog in May. Okay, so cool, cool, cool. But I want to show you how we die cut with this, okay? So not all the dies will fit. There's little, little things in the catalog that will say mini, okay? And the best way is just to make sure it will fit on your platform here. All right, so we are gonna just, sometimes there's a little trick. When I'm using the mini, I do like to use sticky notes because this, you do have to stagger your plates. This is the best way for this mini machine to work. Okay, so we've got our platform plate. We've got plate number 2, which is a clear cutting plate. And then we're going to simply add our piece of designer paper. And then we're going to line up our design here. Actually, I think I'm going to lay this down so I can see a little bit better and get in here. And just really take your time lining it up. And then I'm gonna use a sticky note, and you can use more than one, whatever you feel you need to use. Okay. So if you're just joining in, welcome, welcome, and I'm glad that you're here today. So we're gonna stagger this second plate as well. There's just something about the machine grabbing all the plates if they're all even. It works better if they're staggered, okay? It just kind of fits it in, and look how easy this rolls through, okay? And I'm just kind of holding the plates to make sure nothing shifts. Once they're kind of going through, then I'll kind of, but look at that, so simple. And we've got a beautiful die cut piece here, and less fussy cutting, okay? But we'll save that for another project. But just so, let's just show you what happens if they're lined up. I'm going to just kind of do that for you guys. So if they're all lined up, you can see it's just not, well, that one did grab that time. That's different. Usually it doesn't. So if you find, like, if you line them up and it actually, I'm kind of like not know what I'm talking about right here, but I'm just surprised. But generally you need to stagger your plates in order for this to work properly, okay? But that actually did, which I'm surprised. Okay, so this is our mini cut and emboss, and for anybody who wants to take advantage of our Join special, it's $99 for the basic starter kit. And you can choose $175 worth of product. Or if you want this mini emboss machine for an extra $30, you can get this mini emboss machine in your starter kit plus the $175. So if you would like more information about this and would love to join the Stampin' Up! Family and my Inking with Heart Stampers team, we would love to have you join us, okay? All right, so I'm so glad so many of you are loving this paper. I'm really blurry, I'm not quite sure. Hopefully I'm okay. All right, so that's the mini cut and emboss machine, okay? So let's make our card. But first, before we make our card, I want to show you how I'm cutting my designer paper for this sketch. And I forgot to grab my sketch. Oh well. You'll see the sketch, but I'll have a sketch on my blog, okay? So this is a great way to make a ton of cards really, really fast. All right, so I need to move a few things out of the way here. So I'm starting with 12 by 12 designer paper, and hopefully, let me zoom back out again and see if this helps. Is that as far as we go? I think so. All right, so my first cut is, and depending on your orientation, okay, I'm going to start at 3.5 inches. All right, and we're going to cut, and then I'm going to do another 3.5. All right, and then 2.5 inches. Okay. Let's see, there we go. And then I'm going to cut these two at 6 inches. All right, this is going to give me designer paper for my envelope flats. All right, and then now these, I'm going to cut these both together. I'm going to cut all of these at 1.5 inches. Okay, so you can be making multiples of these cards. And I started with the host designer paper and with 12 sheets of paper, and could create 48 cards with using the 12 sheets of designer paper. Okay, so if you love to make a ton of cards, this is a great way to effectively use your paper. All right, one more cut here. Whoops, it kind of moved on me there. Let me just, okay. Let's cut this one more time. See how bad I cut that? Okay, and then I think we're going to flip this around because that's the uneven edge. And you know what? This one's going to be just a little bit skinnier. Okay, so we've got a ton of pieces of paper here, but when you're doing like even if it's 6 sheets or 3 sheets, you know, it's best to work with paper that kind of go with each other, so you can mix and match. Okay, so if I had a bunch of designs, you could just kind of lay them out and just start playing around with the designs. Maybe we're going to use 3 banners. Okay, so that way we need 3 pieces of designer paper for each card. Okay, and you could play around with the designs and kind of come up with all kinds. Maybe I want these 3 all to the same, or maybe we do 2 of this design and 1 in the middle, and 2 of that design and another one. So look at that, there's 4 cards right there, and I still have 4 strips left. So you could get a lot, still another one out of that. Okay, so that's just kind of how you cut your designer paper, to give you all kinds of things to play with. All right, the math works out better when you use more sheets. You've got more options to work with. Okay, so let's start with our first card. So we're going to start with the fresh freesia, because, so you didn't miss too much, Gail. We're just kind of starting on our card, and I showcase how to cut a sheet of 12 by 12 designer paper. So anyway, so hi Patty and Ann and Missy and Elaine and Gail, welcome, and Pat and Sharon. I'm trying to think who else, and Carol and Jane. Hopefully I didn't miss anybody. Okay, so I'm going to, I think I'm going to do this pattern right here, where I've got 2 of these lighter freesia colors, this geometric design on the outside and 1 on the inside. Or you know what, let's flip it around. Let's go like this. Okay, so we're going to do that, and I'm going to use an old retired punch, because we don't really have a punch that flags our ends, so I've always kept this tailored punch, and I'm just stacking up all 3 at once so they all get the same flagged end. Okay, so that way we are all perfectly the same length and everything, okay? Whereas if you do it by hand. So we're gonna glue these on. Okay, I'm gonna flip these over. So look at that cool, fun geometric design there. And we are going to just add some Tombow adhesive to the back side. And did you know if you let this Tombow glue dry so it turns clear, that now you've got a mini glue dot. So don't forget to do that. So like if this totally dried clear, then you've got a little mini glue dot. So it works really good. So, okay. Let's start with the outer. We're going to do the 2 outside pieces. We're simply going to put this on some basic white cardstock. So let's do this end here. So this just kind of gives me a better guide to get this lined up. Whereas, you know, if I start in the middle, then I might not have judged it correctly. The main thing is I want like the top and the 3 sides to be about, you know, equal distance. Now I can center this middle one so that way it looks nice, okay? And it looks pretty straight across the top, okay? Simple, isn't that just gorgeous? Okay, so we are going to, we're going to stamp a greeting. First, we're going to flag the end of it because I want my greeting as far to the right as I can go. All right, so we're going to do that. So we've got that done. And then we're going to use, I love go-to greetings because I wanted kind of like a small greeting. The one that coordinates with the stamp set is a little too big for me. So we're going to do just a note, just a nice universal salutation to have. Okay, so let's do that. Great use of the punch to flag the ends. I love using punches whenever I can because it just makes the work so much easier. So let's adhere this on next. Here we go. Let's do this. Make sure it's straight. Okay, and now we're gonna put this on our card base, okay? We're gonna do some dimensionals with this. You could finish up the whole thing at once, but I don't know. I'm gonna just put this on next. We're using a fresh freesia card base, so that's what I love about Stampin' Up, that their colors coordinate together. And if you love this color, you better start stocking up on it now because Fresh Freesia is set to retire, being one of the ink colors. It's set of the ink colors that's going to retire, unless, you know, as far as I know, it's retiring. It's expected to retire. Okay, so there we go. So I've already fussy cut, or, you know, between fussy cut and, excuse me, die cutting some flowers. We are going to adhere these. You know, I might add a second one on here. Excuse me. Okay, let me think here for a minute. See what looks good. I don't really like this tail, so I think we're gonna just trim this off. Now when you're fussy cutting, if you hate to fussy cut, make sure you let the paper do the work and not your scissors. So see how I'm moving the paper? My scissors are kind of staying by themselves, okay? So let's pull this back in, and yeah, I think I like that better. And then maybe stick that leaf just looks so weird to me. Then I might just stick that in somewheres, okay? So we're gonna just marry these two flowers here together, okay? And this has got like a flat edge too, so that just kind of don't like. Okay, we're gonna just put these together, and then we will add some dimensionals on the back here. Yes, these are such rich colors. You know, just could be anything. Thinking of you would make a great sympathy card as well. Winter birthday, whatever you need a card for. I think, you know, most of the paper is good for just about anything that we have in our catalog. There's some that are, you know, definitely the Halloween or Christmassy ones, but okay, so we've got our dimensionals on the back, and we'll just kind of plop those there. And let's see if we can, I'm thinking like that. So I'm going to just do, I'm going to grab a mini dimensional, just put it on the end there. I think that's where I want it to be. Yep. And then we'll just add a little bit of glue here. So we can just tuck that in there. Did I get that? There. Okay, but we got to finish it off. It needs some bling and some ribbon. Yes, I just love these colors. Okay, let me put my glue top back on. We're gonna go, I've already tied my ribbon, so here's the Fresh Freesia ribbon too. So this should be retiring as well. When the new catalog, when the retired list is out. So I gotta think, so May, so I'm thinking like end of March, early April is when the retired list will be out for this annual catalog. Okay, so that's just a little, you know what? I think we're gonna put, I really put that a little too close. Maybe we can get the ribbon down here a little bit farther so we can angle our ribbons so they look like a bow. All right, hopefully that's gonna stick. I think we need another glue dot because I've maneuvered it around too much. Okay, I think we can still see the greetings there, right? Okay, so let's add some bling to this, right? We need a little bit of bling. And my favorite, I just have tons of these rhinestones on hand, the basic rhinestones, jewels. So let's grab our pick tool. Yes. Wait till you see what's on the inside, what we're going to do to the inside as well. So let's put a big one there and maybe like another one here. Whoops, that one's going to stick here. Stick another one right up here. Okay. All right. So how does that look, everyone? Do you love it? And hopefully I don't look blurry. So let me know if I do. Hopefully it's not blurry for the rest of you. What do you do a segment on how to, would I do a segment on how to, you always struggle. Okay, Carol, I can do that. Actually, do I have ribbon? We can do a quick one right now. Let me think here. Here's ribbon. Okay. And I think I'll add one of these, Carol, in your box when it comes to that I need to send you, your kit. Okay, so what I do is I usually leave it attached to it, and this is just a hair pick comb that I use. It could be a big wide serving fork, whatever you have around, okay? And I have a tail, and I bring it around to the front, and I leave a tail here, okay? See how it crisscrossed over? And so it kind of makes like the breast cancer type ribbon, okay? Or the cancer ribbon. And so we're going to go down underneath this one, and I'm going to grab it from the back and bring it up, and I'm going to just tie one knot, okay? And this is the back side of the bow, so I just pull really tight as I can. The thicker the ribbon, the harder it is. This works good for the fine ones, and then it gives you a perfect looking bow, just perfect. And then I just trim off however long I want my tail, okay? So really easy. The best way is you can always Google for, you know, I don't know if I have that on my blog or not, but I'll have to check. Maybe I'll do a video to put it on my blog. Okay, it's called the fork tying bow, fork bow. All right, so we've got our bow made. We've done this. So let's do the inside of our card, okay? So on this paper, look at this paper. Along the edges, there's all these fun half unusable things, but they are usable. So I've already fussy cut one of those, okay? And we're going to just simply add it to the inside of our card to embellish it. So, so that way when they open it up, the inside, to read what you wrote, they're going to see even more special goodness there, okay? And you could add really even more. I mean, if you wanted one up here, whatever you wanted to do. But look at that. Isn't that just another way to use up all your scraps of your designer paper? Hang on, I got to glue this to the inside, so we need a little bit more glue, and then we can put it away. Okay, so I've got more designs here to share with you. So what do you think of this banner sketch card? Isn't it simple and easy and just a great way to use up your paper? Let's grab an envelope. Doesn't that just look beautiful? So this week I definitely need to draw comment winners. So I need to do that. I need to catch up on that. So in fact, I'm going to write down a couple numbers right now. So we're going to do number 15 and number 30. Okay, so hopefully there's at least 30 comments here. And I'll look after this, after we're done here on the live, and check it out. I just kind of go down through how it's in my feed. Okay, so hopefully you love that. So let me move a few things out of the camera here so I can show you these other designs. Okay, so that I've done with the favored flowers. So here's this design. So remember I said that we could do like, so this is one we just did. So here's the one with let me zoom back in a little bit more, with the two opposites. So isn't that kind of cool? So there's two of your cards right there out of one, well, 2 sheets of paper is what you would need, because you got to look at the front and backs to see what two papers go together. Okay, so here's one with all 3 of those flowers across. Okay, so can anybody see anything different what I did with the designer paper on here versus this one? So can you see any difference between this one and this one? Yes, you could definitely. Ellen asked a great question. Can you resize the banners and put these onto note cards with no mat? You can do whatever you wanted to do. You know, it's just all in how you cut your paper, you know, and go with it. You might decide you want a mat, you know, I don't know. So okay. So I see some Missy blends. You are so right. So I took and colored the designer paper with my Stampin' Blends. There's a fresh freesia color. So if you love this, make sure you get the Stampin' Blends as well. Let me show you a little bit more, a bigger piece. So can you see the difference here? I totally did all the flowers on this side of the designer paper. Plus I even did the leaves. I had a little bit darker leaves with, I think it's Mossy Meadow blends. And then here I picked and chose some of the blends, okay, of the flowers that I colored with the blends and left some uncolored. Don't you love like the shading of the bouquets? I just think it just kind of looks like a bouquet of roses or something, doesn't it? So looks like the flowers are darker. Yes. Okay. So just a really cool, think outside of the box about how you can make a simple little change by adding some color or different colors. You could probably even, depend on what the image is, maybe pull in your blending brushes. Maybe with these larger flowers, you could do blending brushes instead. If you didn't have blends, to add a little bit of color to deepen it up. You know what? I did do some coloring. Let me just grab my paper here, because I was having fun with this, but it is time consuming and it does use up your paper. So look at this one. This is colored, the petal pink is so light, you can't see too much of a difference, but it's subtle. I think, what did I use? Do we have clips of coral? Blends. I'm trying to think. I think we do. So I can't remember, boy, because I did this a while ago, and then the fresh freesia. But look at how so there's the difference in the designer paper. You see that the difference? Maybe I go like this, you know, and how it looks so different by adding that color blends in with it. Okay, so hopefully that inspires you. So let's share a few more samples here, but I think I love the purple because purple's part of I just love purple. Okay, so here's the Calypso Coral in petal pink look. Here I just fussy cutted some of the flowers. Here we've got the kind of the opposite here. Let's get rid of this. But I changed by just changing the colored matte, just gives it I think a totally different look, and adding in the purpley flower in there too just makes it pop a little bit more. Of course, you know, some ribbon too. So, okay, so oh, look at this one. What do you think of this one here? This one's totally different, using this green mossy meadow background with the, you know, the squares, the geometric pattern. So that one's totally different. That one's similar. Here I did evening evergreen card base. Look at that. Isn't that sweet? And then inside I double matted the card on the inside. So there's that one. So let's change papers. Remember last week we showcased the Country Bouquet, the Floral Lane, yeah, what is it? The Country Floral Lane designer paper. So here's one with that, okay? So just as a note, this punch, the heart punch, is unorderable currently, but you can still get the designer paper and the stamp set. So you might want to think about getting that even now, even though you would miss out on saving 10% as a bundle, but you could start playing with your stamp set. And really, these are not that hard to fussy cut in between. But anyways, so here's this one. And then here's another one with the opposite design. So it's just simple and easy to carry this card sketch through with other stamp sets than the one that you currently use. Okay, so here is a pattern from the annual catalog right here. Isn't that sweet? I can't remember what it's called. It's been so long since I did this. So anyway, so this is another sweet one. Here's that fresh freesia color again, okay? It does match a lot of the different colors in the pattern paper that we have. So if you have you want to start looking at your papers that you have on hand, designer papers, and see what color cardstock you need to be able to use up all that pattern paper. So think about getting these in color cardstocks during celebration so you don't miss out these colors selling out once the retired list is out. All right, so I still got more samples. Okay, these are just generic samples. They don't really go with our sketch, but I just kind of, if you wanted something simple and easy again too, just by using this paper. Okay, you can see that the difference here, I colored with blends on the background here versus this one. Okay, same kind of layout. Here, this one's colored with blends as well. Yeah, I thought these made, you know, kind of different cards. I did kind of some of it on the background, and then just they're really kind of this very similar here. So okay, so what else I have? All right, so if you don't want that, then use some of your die cut, your fussy cutting images. This uses our embossing folder here and doing that, and the die out of the die set. And here's another one with the fresh freesia. So okay, what else do I have to share with you? Let me think. So I forgot to show you where to find a little bit more information in the Sale-a-bration mini catalog is, this talks about this whole join special and about the mini cut and emboss. So there's 3 options. If you don't want like the blue, then you could get it in white. So you kind of have a lot of different ways to go. Okay. Let's see. So let me just, if you're local, don't forget that you can come and sign up for classes. This is the Fancy Flora set of cards. And then we did the Hoot Hoot owl, the adorable owls. So these are a pocket card, which are really fun. These have been really, really popular for classes. And of course we have the country bouquet as well. This is there's 2 of these, set number 1, and then set number 2, which is the first version here, really simple version, using the country bouquet, Fancy Flora. Then Tea Boutique. These are really simple. So if you're new to stamping and you just want to give it a try, this is a great set of cards to get started with, to just stamp a greeting and layering up your card. These are the Tea Boutique cards and envelopes. They're just the envelopes are all pre-printed and they're just absolutely fabulous. And then finally, if you love Valentine's, you come make a Valentine wall hanging as well. So my newsletter will have more information about our classes, and you can order anything that you want using this host code. Oh, you know what? And when you use the host code and place at least a $50 order, you receive a free card kit from me, okay? So, and what is it? It's in my news. I totally forgot about it. It's using the, what is it using? The Fitting Florets designer paper. So really, really easy to use. And let's see, what else? There's something else I need to tell you. Oh, yeah. So my February, let me go back to my desktop here, okay? And I want to show you, where do you find your in-color information? So if you look on page 122 of the 22 to 23 annual catalog, here are the in-colors that are retiring, okay? Polished pink, pale papaya, evening evergreen, soft succulent, and fresh freesia. I'm going to miss them all, okay? So it's going to be interesting. We already know boho blue is coming back, so we're going to get a blue for a new in color. So it's going to be, so we got 4 more to figure out what they are. So let me just, so I'll be sharing more details, but just to kind of give you an idea what the birthday card, we're going to be using the host designer paper that's in our mini catalog, the Flowers and More designer paper. And let me just kind of show you some of the designs, and we'll be using, it will be a kit that you can make over 18 cards with it, okay? 12 full-size cards and 6 no cards, all right? We're going to be using these fabulous eclectic designs. I'm calling them eclectic. They're just so fun and bright and happy, different kind of designer paper. So, and we got butterflies and daisies in here that we're going to use with this kit, birthday card kit, okay? So, but I'll be sharing more information in my newsletter about that and afterwards, and definitely more next week, okay? All right, so I think that's about it, everybody. It's almost 4 o'clock. Wow. All right, I try to keep these things short and sweet. So if you're new to my channel, make sure you come back every Wednesday. Hopefully, I'm always running behind, right, everybody? At 3 p.m. For some more creative ink with you. And if you love to feel creative, inspired, that's what I hope you feel today. Let me know. Let me know. If you're gonna, if you love this sketch challenge, I'm gonna create a card using this sketch. So, okay, everybody, thanks so much, and have an awesome day. Stay warm, stay safe. If you're well, I guess all over the country there's quite a bit of snow. So just be safe. Okay, thanks so much. Bye-bye.